high-grade Clanche Custom.
Hey, what's up again, everybody? Robert184, 2Rs2Bs at GundamReviews.net, and the leader of the Seric team in the third generation of Gundam Age, well, his Clanche, the need for it has been quenched with this transforming mobile suit, so let's take a look at the parts with its familiar color scheme that we already see there in the Adele. With the help of the straightforward manual there and the empty plates, which are different enough from the Clanche to still make it fun to build again, here's the main body parts that you're going to be getting, including some variations on the legs, the arms, and of course the head. With the weapons you can see there with the small shield, and the extras that you can see packed away there, landing gear, 3 extra manipulators, and a single beam holder to go along with 2 actual swords. Here's the mostly complete leg, which was well designed in the first place for the Clanche. As you can see, the hips are going to move around smoothly there. So there's some nice little details like some gray being exposed. The legs are going to look a little bit strange there, as they're always going to have that little part of gray up here there. But in terms of the bend, 135, no doubts about that. Definitely good enough. And if you come down here, you've got these parts here, which are going to open and close. And I love the rounded, very simple feet here, very Turn X-ish, with gray on the insides there, everywhere but the heels. These will also go down for the transformation, and they're going to rock off and back and forth to the side. But whereas the regular Clanche is just going to have this part here attached onto it, with the custom, you're just going to be getting this one fancy part, which it would have been sort of cool if they had actually included a great thruster or something down there. Nonetheless, that's just going to be a seal with a tiny bit of lining on there, and when you attach it on, though, all of a sudden the custom is really going to start to set itself apart, as it's going to come across as a lot bulkier and a lot meaner compared to the smoothness of the regular grunt. Simple yet effective waist down here, as you're not going to get anything fancy 00 style, even though you've got some circles in there, they're not going to be moving around. Would be cool if they did, if it was a master grade. We can only dream. But you can see that the thrusters are going to move around here, and you've just got PC9s holding in the side skirts. Little bit of black lining, and you can see that this will rotate and that the chest will move ever so slightly. Simple yet a very effective and clean chest here, as you can see where that's going to plug in. The nice white part is actually going to cover up some gray underneath there, so you will see some cool vents. The shoulders here are going to move forward and back and up and down, and you can see that when you do that too much, you can actually pop this whole neck section up. Be careful when you're putting this in. It's not always clear in the manual exactly what you're supposed to be doing with it, but when you do, just make sure that you don't break it, and you're going to have to go get the handy glue. Simple and effective is definitely the name of this game here. As you can see the way the shoulders are going to attach in there, you're not going to have a lot of lining opportunities in terms of slits here, but if you want to go ahead and put some ink in there, that'll work out, and some edging could be fun there. Up here you've got a gray seal, and down below this is all going to look good. One complaint being is that this feels a little bit too loose, but for the elbow bend you're going to be getting the 90. I do like the way that you get these blue parts here on the shoulder. I think they look like a lot of fun. And then when you come down here, the forearms are very, very simple. You could add some lining, but it would probably go in between the cracks there where you attach the plastic together. These parts here are very easily detachable and rotatable, very similar to what we've seen with the Age 1s. But it's when you come back here that you get to see the next big difference with the regular Clanche here, which I had to say looks really good just as it is you've got the pink part here to go along with some gray on the front and back. You can add some lining to that. And on the inside, where you're going to be seeing it from the front, you're mostly going to be seeing the insides. They go to the trouble of putting the gray on the inside there, and you've got that nice solid attachment point to the elbow. But I think the custom is going to take it to the next level, as you've still got the gray parts there, which are not really going to show through, so that seems like a little bit of a lost opportunity. But of more interest is you've got this blade-like contraption here, which is going to swing almost 180 degrees there, and then when you do that, you've also got this white part, so you can have this swinging all over the place. How practical it is, I don't know, but if you compare just a flat panel, which I thought looked pretty good as it is, to something that's got this much of a swinging mechanism, should be fun. In terms of optics from the side, you can see that the custom is definitely going to take the edge, but if you do look at it from the front, I think you'd say that the regular Clanche, you're going to see a lot more of it between the two tones. The white sort of gets lost because you're looking at it straight on, and generally the blue is also just thinner. I'm a big fan of the Dodds rifle here because of its simple construction. You can just take this gray part, open it up, and use it in either form with the transformation there. And this part is going to fit nicely into the hand. The color up there is just going to key that this is for the custom, and you've got some little lining opportunities there inside the white parts if you wanted to add some color. Shield like before, carrying on the tradition of the Age 2, which means it's a little bit dull. You can take the beam saber and plug it in down there, and this will attach onto either form, and at least they're going to give you the 3 colors despite the small space. I'm a big fan of the extra manipulators they're going to be giving you here, as you've got fists for both the left and right hand. You've got weapons holders if you wanted to take a beam saber in either hand, or more likely have the Dodge rifle and a beam saber. But it's also, this is just a really fun hand you could use here. It's not, because of the back, going to have the nice little round circle that we're used to with the age kits, but at least you're going to have an interesting dynamic white-backed hand there that you could put in pretty much anybody's left hand and just be saying, hey. With the final bonus being landing gear, which is almost a moot point considering for a reasonable price we're already getting a custom action base which works in both forms. And I'm a big fan of this kind of base in general, which they seem to be including with more and more regularity there. You can put the 2 manipulators of the 3 down below, rotate this around, and you can either have him up there in MS mode or in transform mode if you actually wanted to have him angled, shooting for the stars. Finally though, it's the head that really brings this kit to life and gives it its commander's sheen, as it should be with the antenna up there on the top. Big fan of the construction here, as you're going to have a nice solid white piece in there. Nothing fancy except you'll just attach a polycap on the inside there. But the fact that you have the white parts showing through the blue there is going to look fantastic when you put this all together. And unlike something like the Genoese 2, which the Genoese 1 did a much better job, but by having the white part underneath actually properly provided, big plus. And if you take a look inside that blue visor there, which is looking good with its dark sheen there, you can make out some of the seals in some of the light, and this head is definitely going to stand out for both its commander's fin and for its general insectoid sleek appearance. And for comparison's sake, here it is. The Clanche's is also going to look good with that same white underneath, and you can just see that the mold for the actual blue part there is going to be quite different. The camera lens definitely visible up there for the Clanche, very not so much over here for the Clanche Custom, but overall it's from the side where this guy takes the edge, unless you're trying to talk about a various kind of rugby or football. Lots of fun putting this kit together here. It did not feel repetitive compared to the regular Clanche, even though there are not going to be all that many differences when you just consider what you see on the top of the legs there. This one definitely going to help set it apart in terms of looks, but it's got to be that commander's fin over there, and just the fact that you've got these cool double-edged switch flip thruster blades, whatever you want to call them over here. It just seems like it's going to be even better than an already great kit, as we saw with the regular one. Anyway, stick around to see the mobile suit and the transformation in the next part, and as always, let me know what you think of Seric, of the mobile suit, and the video. Love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. See ya. Who's gonna come and take the ball from me?